So starting off with the unboxing, you can see that this is a very plain box. And opening it up and taking out the foam, you will find a little sticky pad to hook up to the wall, a thank you card, a manual, the doorbell itself, a wireless receiver so you can hear the doorbell ring, some screws to hook it up to the wall, and a pair of batteries. If you open up the thank you card, you will see that they will give you a free gift if you review their item. Now I am not sure if they require a 5-star review, but obviously review it and be unbiased in your review. Since they are giving you a gift, don't be inclined to give them 5 stars if it's not worth the 5 stars. You also have the manual, which inside you will find all the instructions and the features that this doorbell has, and this is worth a look, as I did not know how to set it up, and after reading this I knew exactly what to do, as it is labeled and instructioned very well. Then you have the sticky pad to stick it to the wall, or if you want you can also use the screws provided to make a more secure fit on your wall. You also get the included batteries, which on the back you have a small notice. And opening them up, you will see that these are the 18650 type batteries, which are rechargeable and are obviously a lot bigger than the normal batteries. And the main item inside the box is obviously the video doorbell itself. You get the 720p camera, an infrared light for night vision, a light sensor to detect if there is enough light outside, a microphone so you can hear what the people are saying outside, the ringer obviously, which is kind of cheaply made, but it does work nonetheless. There is also a little ring around the button, which indicates to the person outside if the call has gone through or not. There is also a speaker so they can hear you, and on the back you have this piece, which is obviously to be mounted on the wall, and you can take it out by sliding it downwards and popping that out. This here is a little sensor, so if it does get detached from the video doorbell itself, you will get notified on your phone. So this is from where you charge the batteries, which it does take a while to charge them, obviously given the capacity, but they do last a very long time. There is also a little reset button here on the left side, and then popping this off you can see a little open sign here is where you put the batteries in. Now these will obviously stay in here even when charging, since it charges from the outside of the doorbell itself. Apart from that, the other sides are all blank, and this is obviously to be expected as the main stuff and main features are found on the front. You also have a motion detector on the top, which is very useful, but sometimes can be triggered by mistake. Obviously, if people are just walking in front of your house, they might be picked up. This can be turned off in the application itself, and the sensitivity can be changed from low to medium or high, depending on how many people go in front of your house and how close they are to the video doorbell itself. To set the doorbell up, what you will need is obviously the doorbell itself, the batteries, and your phone, but the phone will come in at a later stage. So firstly, take off the back plate by popping it off. Then open up the battery compartment and insert the 2 batteries. A little LED will show up even though it is from the back side. Put back in the compartment and turn it around. You will see that there will be a red indicator light on the ring itself, and this is to indicate that the back plate is not in place. So to fix that, all you need to do is put in the back plate and slide it upwards. And as you can see, it will turn off automatically. And as you can see, the notification light did turn off. So to connect the video doorbell to your phone, all you need to do is go on the Play Store and download Access Sage Cam. Now this does not have the best reviews, as you can see, but it does work pretty well with my phone. After that, all you need to do is open up the application, give it permission to access those, allow it for notifications as well, as you will need this obviously when the doorbell is rung. So the notifications are allowed by default, so you do not need to do anything. And then go into the application, add the device, set up device, and if you cannot hear anything from the doorbell itself saying that it is now ready to begin pairing, press on no, and it has the instructions given. So for this, all you need to do is take out the back cover, wake it up as it is right now, hold down the reset button for 3 seconds.
The camera is now ready to begin pairing.
Now go back and press on yes, and connect to the Wi-Fi that is closest to your doorbell. And obviously, if you're going to be installing this on the outside of your house, be sure that there is a stable Wi-Fi connection, as video does take a bit of bandwidth, and if the connection is not that good, the video will probably be very choppy. After putting in the password, all you need to do is press on next, and it will do this horrible noise, so
Information received.
all you need to do is mute down your phone, and once the pairing information is received, the video doorbell will prompt you that it has received that, and there will be a violet light. Now as you can see, it did add the device successfully, and you can change the name if you want to front door or wherever you're going to put this in. Give it a password, confirm the password, and select the location. So obviously if you're not in a Chinese country, press on non-Chinese mainland. Now this probably has to do with China's regulation, so obviously if you're not residing in China, press on non-Chinese mainland. Obviously this is to allow the notifications to go through, and press on OK. And it already has the permissions granted. And now here you will get the live video feed, and if you press on it, you will see what the doorbell is seeing. Considering that the camera is 720p, it is actually of pretty good quality. Here you can also see that it is very wide angle, and this is needed obviously to see all that is going on in front of your house. If I turn up my phone volume, you will hear what the camera is hearing. Obviously there will be some reverb considering that the phone is right next to the camera. But apart from that, the sound quality is pretty good from the camera to the phone, and also from the phone to the camera it is also pretty good. So to talk, all you need to do is press on the button. Obviously there will be a bit of reverb here again, and this is to record the session or the person in front of your house. And this is to record the session or the person in front of your house. You can also take a picture, and therefore this is a very useful thing to have, and all the features included in the app are actually pretty good and work well on my device. Apart from that, on the top you have the battery indicator, how many persons are connected to the camera, and the Wi-Fi signal of the camera itself. Now considering that I am right next to the Wi-Fi router, this is not a very good connection, and even my phone has full bars, but nonetheless it does connect well if the router is close. As you can see, it is jumping around from 2 to 3 bars and even sometimes 1, which probably has to do with the software indicator not indicating the correct signal strength. You also have the time and date on top, and this is also useful if you need to record something and have an indication of when that happened. You can also change from SD video to HD video, and this is useful if the camera is not close to a Wi-Fi router. So if it is far away and the Wi-Fi strength is not that good, all you need to do is change it from HD video to SD video, and obviously the picture quality will suffer, but the broadcast will be a lot better. To go into the settings menu, all you need to do is press on the settings tab, and here you will find that there is an SD card already installed in the video doorbell. This is of around 8 GB, which is pretty much enough. But this is obviously considering if you're not going to record a lot of footage. To format the SD card, you have a big blue button here, and all you need to do is press it, and it will take a bit of time to format the SD card. If you want, there is also cloud storage, which I am not sure to where it saves, but I would suggest keeping the cloud storage off if you do not want the footage to be stolen or anything of that sort. Then you also have the environment outside, which you can choose from a bunch of. Then you also have the environment, which you can choose from all of these, and something in particular that I want to show is the night mode. Pressing on it, you can see that the LEDs light up and everything will go black and white. You also have the motion detection here, and you can choose from low, medium and high. I would suggest keeping this off if there is a lot of activity going on in front of your house, and I in fact live in a pretty busy street, so I keep this disabled all the time. You can also disable and enable the LED on the doorbell itself, just by checking the box that you need. And you also have the power frequency, which you can choose from 60 Hz or 50 Hz. So this right here is a small test to demonstrate how the video quality would show if this was mounted on the outside of your door. So let's say that someone presses on the ringer. As you can see, it does take some time usually. So this is one of the drawbacks of the doorbell itself, and as you can see, it did not ring on the doorbell or either on my phone. Trying that out again, it seems like it's going to do the same thing. But now it did actually ring. And it is ringing on my phone as well. So if you answer the call, you will get the live broadcast, and I will record this just to show you what the broadcast looks like. So here it seems like there's a bit of delay, and this is probably has to do with the being as strong. There is a big delay from the video itself. And this is set on SD quality, but it is still lagging a lot. If you have motion detection on and put it on high, it does not always work, which is pretty bad considering the price of the video doorbell itself. So after a while of it being set up, it seems like the doorbell is working just fine. And here you can tell on my phone that when I press the button, the call will go through almost immediately. And when answering it, you can see that there is not a big amount of latency. And considering that the Wi-Fi router is pretty far away, this is not bad. Pressing the button again after a short while will also trigger the phone, so this is good to see. But the motion detection is not working perfectly and as good as the ring function. In fact, the PIR detection is set on high, and when I move my hand across it, there is nothing happening. It does sometimes trigger, but after a long time, which is not useful at all. But apart from that, apart from the motion detection, the video doorbell works okay for the most part. I did put the power frequency to 60 Hz and 50 Hz and toggle through them, and it does not seem like it makes a big difference. So all you need to do to pair the ringer to the doorbell itself is hold down the top button for 3 seconds until the indicator lights up, and then press the doorbell 3 times to pair it with the ringer. So as you can see, the ringer is now ringing, and also the doorbell is ringing as well. So on the ringer itself, you can change the chime from the 2 buttons on the side. Obviously there are a lot to choose from, and you can also change the volume of it from the same buttons. Considering the distance from here to the front door, the doorbell does also work in ringing this one from the front door. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but considering the distance from here to the front door, when it works it is great, but when it doesn't, it will obviously not notify you apart from the phone itself, which is not good. So trying it out again from the front door to here, we will see if it will work. And in fact, this time it did work. I was very impressed with this doorbell when it worked well, but when it didn't, it was outright bad. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Something else you need to keep in mind is that after the first 10 or 20 minutes that this was set up, the ring function did work every time, and it did call my phone every time. I do not know what happened in those first 10 to 20 minutes, but it did resolve itself after those initial minutes. Also, something to keep in mind is that the video was pretty good, even though it was very far away from the Wi-Fi router, which is also great to see. It did not have much latency, and also when I talked into my phone to the doorbell, it did not have any latency apart from maybe a 1 second delay, which is to be expected considering that this was very far away from the router. The motion detection did sometimes work, but mostly it did not, so I am not sure what is going on with that. It might be my unit, but I am pretty sure it can be found on others as well. And also the external ringer did work pretty well sometimes, but then some other times it just cut off completely and did not work at all. But considering the distance it was working at, that is not a big problem. If you set up the ringer just next to the doorbell itself, it will work perfectly fine all the time.